contemporary artist based in Delhi, and my name is Pooja Irana. If I go back to the 1970s, when I was growing up as a child, there was art and culture all around me. There were galleries. I'm talking about the space where I lived. This was Mandi House, which was the prime space for artists, for theatre, for musicians. We had galleries which were very active. We had National School of Drama, which was just producing the cream of India. We had what do you say? From all over the country, we had musicians coming in and performing in Kamani Auditorium, Triveni Auditorium, everywhere. So I was very much exposed to the Indian culture at that point. But when you have things at home, you do not, you sometimes are not excited about it anymore, because it's a daily routine. It's like food that you have every day. You're not excited about it, so I never thought that I want to be an artist. I was constantly visiting studio, working as a child in studio spaces. I had learned many techniques. I would see artists using techniques, so I was very familiar with those. I was also familiar about the trends that were very prominent during that point of time in the art world. So I was very well versed with that. I would visit exhibitions. Almost every opening I would visit as a child. I mean, because there was no other way of entertainment. There was no TV. They were just these openings, and they were your parents' friends who were always around. So that is the culture that I grew up in. And then there was this time when I had to decide what I had to do. And then obviously painting was the last choice. My first choice was architecture. My next choice was psychology. And then I also wanted to be a designer. Why art became the last priority was that I had always seen my parents struggle in this field, which was very painful as a child. Whenever we had, I would just see them earning a bit and then doing these exhibitions. There were hardly any collectors at that point, only one or two. And then you would work so hard, put up shows, and then actually you would just have your friends around to come and see the work. There was, I think that came as a very painful experience for me, because I saw my parents really work hard, and they were so passionately working day and night, to the extent that there were no family holidays, there was no family time. And so I certainly thought that this was a very difficult path to choose, and why should I choose something that will not lead to anything that I'm striving for. At first, it was just their struggles that I saw, but later on, they started inspiring me. Everybody, every person, every artist. It actually took 4 years of just not being so interested. It is after those 4 years of my graduation that I then took a final decision that yes, I want to be an artist. I was an introvert. I didn't like to interact with people. I was so happy being within my four walls and just being with myself. And so what is it that I can do in those four walls? I can just paint. I can just express myself. I guess that is the point when I realized that yes, this is the right profession. And till now, I'm here. The idea of what you want to do is germinated when you decide, at least in my case, that I want to be an artist. I mean, it happened that long ago. I wanted to depict the growing city, and that's the thing that has remained with me till now. So you can imagine that, I mean, it might sound very strange to some other person, but for me, I'm very comfortable that I am just expressing myself, giving my art practice just one language. I mean, even if you ask me, ki, okay, you're an artist, can you do this? Can you do that? No, I can't. I am so fascinated till date, so excited till date about what I do. And so it's been almost 30 years, and I still feel that time has just flown away. There's so much more to do, there's so much more to say. Yes, things either have to excite an artist or have to disturb an artist to the level that he is ready to create a work which will show that state of mind. I think in these 30 years of my art practice, I have been very excited to show the human mind, not the human physical self, the human mind, and how it can give birth to the problems that we are facing today in the society when it comes to the construction part of the world, construction part of it all. I talk about architectural spaces, the ones that is created by people, which is inhabited by people, used forever, and which leaves the soul of people in them. That is what I am basically interested in. So it might be about it. It's obviously all about the human mind because we are the creators of it. That's the few things that we create for ourselves. My whole soul attention has gone to how we have gone to the level where we've exploited and explored all our resources, all our human resources also, and all our mind also. And now we're going nowhere. Either we become static or we have gone towards deterioration of creating those spaces. And it's high time that we start thinking about where we're going, whether we put a halt to it or whether we want to go slow about it, whether we want to question ourselves regarding this is the thing that I want to show now in my work. I think since I have always been interested in the spaces that we live in the spaces that we create, I have always also been interested in the mediums that I use throughout this artistic journey, how I've explored, exploited, and try to understand the mediums that this idea can be represented in. If the artistic language is yours, then why not mold the material according to yourself? And this is what I would say when I saw the camera for the first time, and I just bought one and I started exploring it. And then how do I give it my own language, because I am not a photographer, I'm not trained as a photographer. And this is when the relation between my computer and my photograph and me developed. And this is when everything started happening on the one table. And that is the time when I realized that this is another medium that I really want to get into. But then again, I do not want to take help from anybody. So it was just a very long struggle of learning the medium, understanding, exploring it the way I wanted to do. I still don't say that I'm very thorough with it, or I cannot maybe get into a discussion with a photographer, because I am not one. I am just using it as a tool to express myself. And with the language that developed with the photographical work that I started doing, came another urge that I wanted to go 3D after a while. I guess I get, after a while, I do understand that I've explored that medium to the maximum, or I come back to it after a few years when I feel the need to come back. And now there was this dire need to do something with my hands, which is 3D. So it comes as another exciting medium where I have to learn from scratch and adapt it to myself. I did not want to sit with a sculptor, with a caster. I just wanted to do it all by myself, because my relationship with my art is just very me. It's not possible for me to sit with another person to explain to him or her as to what my plans are. The plans are there in the mind and they have to be executed with my hands. That's what is most exciting about the art practice that I follow. Staple pins just came about, and I was just sitting one day in my studio, and then I started building them up as blocks, and I thought, yes, this is the language that would be so close to what I've been wanting to express. And it actually took me 2 long years to finally place them in public, where again, obviously, the public perception of it became very important. But those 2 years of struggle was there because I was trying to find how to go about the medium, and what I wanted to say through that medium, whether it would justify the seriousness of what I was trying to express throughout this journey. And I still feel that yes, this is my medium. I still get very excited about it, and with that, in another few years, generated the desire to do videos. Before this last show I was getting very disturbed about the spaces that we're building, how we are just cutting forest, how we are just cutting mountains to generate marble, how I was going to apartments that were just so empty that people were just buying to invest, and there was nobody staying there. And I was just continuously getting disturbed about how, for just our ambition, we are cutting down things, just getting them to that level that we are just exploiting unnecessarily where there's no need also. And so this need of that came about in the video that I shot, where I started visiting, or I took from my own archival photographs, the forestry, and then I started building on it, and how we have managed very conveniently, happily, to put an end to the forest area. We make our own rules, and we decide that this forest has to be cut, and we're going to use this to make an apartment or an office space, which we will seldomly used. So these things started disturbing me, and when start disturbing you or take a lot of your attention, that is the time I realized that I am now getting attracted to start a new language or a different kind of work. When it comes to me switching on and off from one medium to another, I don't know, this automatic need of switching comes about. I will start observing, like when I wanted to do sculpture, I would start observing these materials, the mediums, how people have used anything, say sculptures in their expression. It just goes on and on and on. It's a very unconscious kind of a exploration that happens of understanding. I think in architecture, everything has to be straight, defined, lined, aligned. But in my case, things are not, because just besides architecture, I'm also talking about human mind. I do believe that everything in life is not a straight line. You cannot define everything. You cannot define the human state, how the human mind thinks, how the human mind works. So for me as an artist, like I said, in mediums there are no rules for me. In this also, I don't follow any rules. So I seriously believe that if nothing in a human being is straight, where there are shades of gray in everything, then why not in the architectural spaces that I create? So that becomes very important. A straight line does not excite me as much as a crooked line. Even in my drawings that you might find are totally straight lines. I never use a scale to make those straight lines. They're done by hand, where there is always room to go haywire, where there always is a room to uh, to slightly not be perfect. And we're all not perfect. We might strive for to be perfect, but we're actually not. I think this lockdown has shown us that don't plan things, because it was so abrupt. It gave us time to understand who we are, what we are, and what pace in life we want to take. And that's how, it's very strange. I would love to talk about it. It's when all these people went inside their homes, in their cocoons. That is the time I realized that that is what my art stood for. It talked about the ghost towns that we've created for ourselves. There's so many buildings that were abandoned, that were not used for months. And that is what the whole idea of my art practice has become. And that is what I saw in front of my whole eyes, which was not possible otherwise, that these are the spaces that we've created and we don't even know if we want to use them. So it was just an opening of you can say a discussion, or a discussion, no, much more serious thing beyond that, that we need to take steps now to understand that even if we create one space for ourselves, how we can utilize and use it to the maximum. That should be the aim, and that is what the lockdown has made me think about. I just feel that any profession that you take, just first of all, do it if you're committed to it, because you get one life, and if you just waste it, there's no point. If you are conscious, if you want to not just live a beautiful life, then stick to some plan. I mean, I just feel very sad that the generation that has got everything on a platter. Think about people who have not got everything on a platter, who struggled, and I think those people tend to get more enjoyment out of their achievement than people who get everything in a platter. So try to negate the platter that you have and try to make a platter for yourself, a platform that you will cherish for the rest of your life. And believe me, it's really enjoyable.